Next up, we are going to crop images to a specific size. For example, if you have a frame that you want to put on the wall and the frame is measuring 8 by 10, we can go in and we can crop this picture of Gabby to be exactly that dimension. And so before we do that, let's take a look at some frames. For example, let's say you have a nice image, and it might be a little tough for you to see this here, but what it's showing is showing an 8 by 10 photo on the wall. And these are standard sizes of frames: 8 by 10, 11 by 14, 16 by 20, 20 by 30. A lot of the pictures that you get printed at Walmart, and the small sizes, generally they're 4 by 6s, are pretty typical sizes for just the little handouts. Wallet sizes like graduation pictures that people pass out, I believe, are 3.5 by 2 or 2.5 by 3, one of those sizes. And so what you can do is you can specifically crop your pictures to match that size. And so that becomes very useful, especially for you seniors when it comes time to create your own senior pictures, which is something you should consider doing. It's not that difficult, and you can have a lot of fun with that using Photoshop. So you got these standard frame sizes, and here's some of them right here. So here we go. 4 by 6, like I'd mentioned, was pretty typical for small portraits that you would get done. It cost you maybe 15 cents at Walmart. 5 by 7 is where you would start getting into the size where somebody would put this on their desk. And then 8 by 10, typical. If you look around the classroom, you'll see some 8 by 10s hanging here. You'll also see I think a 16 by 20 hanging on the wall here in the classroom. And then you get into these larger sizes, and then you can also get into the poster sizes, poster frames, and there's some standards with that. When you go to the movie theater, I forget exactly which size it is, but one of these is a standard kind of poster size for movie advertising. And so, of course, you can go over to Michael's in Klamath Falls and buy these standard poster frames, or you can create your own. So if we wanted to take this image of Gabby and turn her into a poster, well, we could certainly do that. And so it works just like this. You click on that crop tool, and then you come up to this window right here. And this is where we can put our width and height. So let's say we wanted to make a 8 by 10 picture. So let's say, and we're going to do it landscape. We could do it either way. We're going to stick with our landscape. And so what we would do is come in here and put 10 inch, IN, and then our height would be 8 in. So it automatically gives us a cropped frame that measures 10 inches across, 8 inches high. So this is the big difference here. If I go in there and I take my crop, that is an 8 by 10 image. If I make it bigger, it's still an 8 by 10 image. So what it does is it constrains the proportions of width to height. And so if I were to go and print this picture, this is going to print in a size of 8 by 10, and you could put it in an 8 by 10 frame. If I come and do this, that's going to be an 8 by 10 picture. If I go and do this, that is going to be right there. That'll be an 8 by 10 picture of Gabby's face. So no matter what you do, it's always constraining these proportions of 8 by 10. And notice that you cannot change the width or the height independently. It always moves at the same time. So that's what we call constraining the proportions. And so you can use that as a nice way to get a specific measurement for a frame that you want to use or get printed to use in a frame and put it up at home. So, and then click the check mark, and there is an 8 by 10 printable image of Gabby ready for framing. So give that a try. Try some different sizes and experience the constraining of those proportions. And once again, when it comes time, go ahead and save it. And so I would save this as in my cropped images. And this one will now become Gabby crop, and I would put in the actual dimensions that I cropped this to. This was, I believe I put 10 by 8 and save that. and click OK. And there you go. So practice with that. That's cropping to a specific size. And I've got to answer a phone call. So I will see you soon.